All right, good afternoon and welcome to the East Long Meadow Public Schools School Committee meeting on June 22nd, 2026, starting at 5 p.m. We could all rise to the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Have a roll call. Samantha. Of course.
Bree Thompson.
Gordon Smith, Superintendent of Schools.
Antonella Rochella.
William Strother.
Amy Delenta. Heather Brown, Assistant Superintendent for Teaching and Learning.
All right. And do we want to make an amendment?
Oh, yeah. I would like to move that we modify the agenda to bring 6.1 e-leaf request for a fundraising event at ELHS to the first order of business under presentations for, to become the new 5.1.1.
Motion made by Greg.
Second.
Seconded by Amy.
Yep.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes 4-0.
Do this before we get to.
Yep.
Okay. We do have one presentation to make prior to approval of minutes. And this is to honor a long-standing school committee member who's been on the committee for the past 18 years, Mr. Greg Thompson.
Thank you, Gordon.
Yeah. Good use.
I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. And being on this committee has been fantastic and meant so much to me, and being, spending time with you on a regular basis, and former committee members and former superintendents and assistant superintendents and leadership team and everybody. So thank you all for this. I do appreciate it.
I just want to say thank you too.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You've definitely meant a lot to this committee, and not just the committee, I feel like to the whole town of East Long Meadow. I mean, you have dedicated so much time to our schools and to our town, and we appreciate and value everything that you've done.
Thank you, Antonella. I'll miss it. I will. Thank you.
Oh, and we have one more presentation.
Everybody's leaving.
I know. This
All the
I
cool
know.
kids.
For you.
Oh, geez, I thought we did that the other night.
Superintendent Smith, I know, but this is your last official school committee meeting. And we just appreciate and value everything that you've done and given us to our school and to our committee. You've been a pleasure to work with. This is my 6th or 7th year as a school committee member, and it's just been so valuable, and I've learned a lot from you, even as an educator and a school committee member. So it's been a great experience.
Well, thank you
And
very
we
much.
wish you the best.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right? Did anyone else want to add anything?
Just that you'll get the card later.
Okay.
Yes,
You're
Pam.
getting the gift.
Okay.
Thanks, Heather. All right, so now back to our agenda. Committee and subcommittee communications. Greg, you want to start?
Just since last week, as many of you have noticed, the former East Long Meadow High School is starting to be torn down. Spoke with Mark from Fontaine on Saturday, happened to run into him at the project. Things are going great. They are looking at end of July potentially to have the building done by at this point. That's a best case scenario. Apparently the foundation is the hardest part, so the things that they're doing now are easier than going down and digging through to the concrete and to the rebar, but certainly making progress. And it's neat to see. Somebody else was saying before how the new building is emerging from the old, and so the next phase begins in the project. So that's all I have. Thank you.
I don't really have anything.
Beyond the fact that we had a LBBC final meeting, everything went well. The year is turning out pretty good. They're looking forward to next year. They do have they're looking for an interim CTE director, so if anybody's out there, they're looking for a new director. The current director will be retiring, so they're gonna have a year where he's shadowing, the new person will be shadowing the current director. And they've got a lot of projects they're working on, potentially even building or getting a new building and adding some of the CTE into a new building, to expand it even more. So it's gonna be interesting.
Thank you. All right, thanks. All right, first agenda item, the e-leave request for fundraising event at ELHS.
Sorry, Antonella, we haven't done the minutes yet,
Or the,
Oh,
or the opportunity for visitors.
Yes.
oh my gosh.
that's okay.
All right, approval of minutes, I'm sorry.
Move to approve the June 15, 2026 executive session meeting minutes as presented.
Motion made by Greg,
Second.
seconded by William. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays?
I was not in attendance.
Oh, so
3-0.
301.
3-0.
One abstaining.
One abstain.
Move to approve the June 15th, 2026 regular session meeting minutes as presented.
Motion made by Greg,
Second.
seconded by William. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Any nays? Any abstentions? So passes 301. Sorry. Skipped through a lot of things. Any, this is an opportunity for visitors to address the committee. No? Oh, yep. So
Come on up.
you can come on up.
Sorry, first timer.
No, it's okay. I skipped through a bunch of stuff, and I'm not a first timer.
There, do you want me to present now or ask what I'm presenting?
No, you can present now.
Okay.
So just state your name.
Sure. Hi, my name is Addie Carabetta. I am a mother of two from town, and I am also a paraprofessional in this town. As a mom whose children are on a 504 and the other on an IEP, I know how much para support is needed legally to maintain the requirement of those two legal documents. As an ELPS employee, I know that those minutes are sometimes impossible to meet and maintain due to the breakdown of the system of employees. Our hourly rate is not competitive, leading to the high turnover of staff in our schools. The job postings that are listed are not specific to the details of our actual duties that are needing to be performed. When new hires are then placed with a student with high needs, they often resign because they are not aware or prepared or even sometimes trained, again, causing a huge turnover rate of staff. This leads to paraprofessionals like myself being pulled from our daily duties to fill others' needs and having then a shortage for our own students. The paraprofessionals have asked me to come to speak with all of you. They had all mentioned what their needs and their wants were for the future of ELPS. Paraprofessionals are the least appreciated but most needed staffing in our schools. We are also the least compensated. Myself personally, after paying out my taxes, union dues, insurance for my family, and a small portion into my 403B, take home $100 a paycheck. That's $10 a day. I am hit, kicked, spit at, and have objects thrown at me weekly. This is not a job that many would be willing to take on, even with a higher pay. And we are all doing it without appropriate compensation for the love of the kids in this town. I understand budgets and I understand cuts, all of which are happening in East Long Meadow. But without us, paraprofessionals, every single IEP is out of compliance, and we are the backbone of the care and education of students in East Long Meadow. I want to thank you for listening to all of the grievances that we have as a paraprofessional group between all schools. And we are hoping that we come to an agreement with our further contract. But everyone wanted you guys to know everybody's kind of grievances of what's happening currently in the schools. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming and letting us know that information. Now are we at E-Leaf?
Now we're at E-Leaf.
Okay. E-Leaf request for fundraising event at ELHS. You guys want to come up?
Sure, here we come again.
Sorry, I know.
I guess the last time we were here, we kind of left off with a conversation that was needed in order to, I guess, bring this to a vote. So I think ball's in your court.
Yeah, and nothing has really changed since the last meeting. We've done the research in terms of other communities having events like this. Personally, I still believe that this should be a one-time occurrence. It will be up to future school committees to decide that. But I, again, would not like to set a precedent in an activity like this, but would be in support of what eLeaf is proposing, and we'll see how it goes.
Should we review just quickly what eLeaf's proposing? Because it had changed from the original proposal, which I believe was, and this is a few meetings ago, proposing having the gala at the new building. And then last meeting, that changed to having a different kind of fundraiser, a smaller fundraiser, but also just somewhat of using it as a way to present the new building and have somewhat of an open house, if you will.
Yes, yeah, nothing's changed since last meeting. Yeah, we definitely scaled it way down from replacing the gala to just another fundraising event for eLeaf.
For Promethean boards, for
That's our
Right.
goal, is to raise money.
for that. Okay. All right. Does anyone have any questions or?
Did we come up with a date yet?
We had 2 dates in November.
Right.
Yep, I think the 7th or the 14th.
Yep.
I believe Mr. Page mentioned something on one of those dates with like a Hall of Fame. There was
I think it was later.
something he said.
Sure, but
Yeah,
you're
the-
right.
Generally, the Hall of Fame is the Saturday before Thanksgiving. I don't know if that's the date that they're going to continue to go on, but they were looking to do something at the high school, which would be, where's Thanksgiving? Okay, so that would probably be the November 21st.
Okay.
All right. So want to make a
Well,
motion?
we should choose a date, perhaps, I would think. Is there a date that you would prefer? eLeaf would prefer the 7th or the 14th?
You prefer the 7th or the 14th? Matter?
No, doesn't matter.
And the time, so I had discussion with someone about the length and perhaps not going,
I was also gonna check with Kevin McGee, because I don't know if there's any sports that,
Right.
yep,
I mean, I don't think there's
Right.
typically games on Saturdays, right?
right?
Anyways,
Kind of in
but-
seasons for
Yeah.
basketball,
Yep.
which would be probably the, right? Am I?
Yeah,
correct on that?
yep.
They start after Thanksgiving.
But I would recommend a date if you,
Yeah, can we say November 7th? Yep.
so, and then there'll be more details to work out, obviously, and you'll work them out. Also, you'll have to go in front of the town council, and probably a school committee representative should be there as well when they do that, so that they know that we're on the same page, I would recommend. And if that's it, then I would move to allow eLeaf to have an event at East Long Meadow High School on October 7th, 2026, in which they may serve alcohol, subject to approval of town council.
Second.
Motion made by Greg, seconded by William.
November 7th?
Yeah,
Did I say October?
yeah, for November.
November 7th, thank you. My point was that we should, in our next SBC, set up the open house for the new building in October, so that we do that first, before this. That makes sense? Okay, yep. November 7th, yep.
All those in favor, any further discussion?
Just, again, not setting any precedent for other events. We're looking to do this as a one-time event, at least for now, just for others that are watching.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Carries over 4-0.
Awesome.
Great.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Up next, end of year presentations.
Okay, so this is the second night of our end-of-the-year presentations. We had the first round at the last school committee meeting. We now have our elementary buildings here. Unfortunately, Mr. Martin, who has had an unexpected death in the family, is not able to be with us this evening, but Ms. Brown and I will walk us through that presentation at the end. So if we want to call up Meadowbrook first, we can have them start us off.
Sean, do you mind clicking it over to my screen? Thank you. Are you projecting for us? I'm projecting for you.
So like, give me the evil eye.
Right there to your side.
Oh, very nice. Thanks.
I'm just pulling it up too, because I can't see. All right, so as you know, part of our goal has been to continue to focus on attendance rates, reducing chronic absenteeism most specifically. For the fall of 2025-26, our goal was 95% or greater average daily attendance, and as of June 12th, our rate was 95.2%. At the same point last year, we were at 95.6%, so fairly comparable to where we were last year. We did exceed the DESE target and met our goal of 95% or greater average daily attendance. For chronic absenteeism, we set a pretty lofty goal of 5% or less, which was our pre-COVID rate. As of June 12th, our chronic absenteeism rate was 7%, and at this time last year it was 7.3%. So while we did improve marginally on last year, we did not meet our 5% attendance goal for chronic absenteeism. I think a number of things contributed to that. When I was reflecting back on this, we had 28 students in that chronic absenteeism group. 8 of those 28 had known health issues impacting attendance. Of those 8, 2 were in home or hospitalization settings. 1 was hospitalized since December and 1 since March. Those add significantly to our chronic absentee rate. Another is a student on an IEP attending school on a modified school schedule. So those 3 things had a pretty significant impact on our attendance rates this year. 17 of those 28 were referred to the care coordinator. 2 were referred to state agencies for multi-year chronic absenteeism. 2 have residency issues that are under investigation at the moment. 3 had periods of travel, 2 of them with out of the country travel, and 1 of those 2 with multiple periods of out of country travel within a course of a single school year. And 2 of those were working with our counselor on attendance. How did we get here? As I shared before, we were sending home monthly letters to families with 5 or more absences, continued communication of our attendance expectations, continued referrals to our district care coordinator for students showing higher rates of absenteeism, individualized follow-up with families, and as I mentioned, referrals to state agencies as warranted.
Another part of our goal under supporting the whole child relates to DESA implementation. This is year 2 of the implementation. We use DESA Mini as a universal screener for all students and the DESA 2.0 as a more in-depth screener for students identified in the Mini as needing more targeted support.
I give you the evil eye.
It's like
You're not
really-
looking over here.
Yeah. In looking at our school-wide data for the DESA Mini in the fall, 6% of students were identified as needing instruction, 79% were in the typical range, and 15% were in the strength range. At the end of the year, 8% are remaining in need, 64% are in typical, and 28% are now in the strength range. So overall, we've seen a 13% growth in students scoring in the strength range and less than 10% in scoring for need for instruction. Next slide. Looking at the DESA 2.0 scores, which provide that deeper insight into the strengths and needs of the students identified in the DESA Mini as needing deeper screening, we're seeing growth in the following competencies. Social awareness increased from 59 to 63%. Self-awareness increased from 53 to 63%. Relationship skills increased from 53% to 59%. And optimistic thinking increased from 50% to 53%. So what's driving our progress? For Tier 1 instruction, we completed Second Step for all grades, including bullying prevention unit. We created a school-wide behavior expectations for lunch, recess, arrival, and dismissal. They were explicitly taught at the beginning of the school year and then revisited after long breaks. We plan to expand this for next year. Our counselors have already started working on hallway and what's the other one? I'm stuck. Hallway and something else. Bathroom, maybe?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. At Tier 2, the DESA 2.0 data is used to guide small group instruction at all grade levels. We worked with the River Valley Counseling to facilitate a 6-week first grade SEL group focused on emotional awareness, self-regulation, friendship skills, and problem solving. River Valley will continue services for students over the summer, including conducting sessions at Meadowbrook. And we collaborate with outside providers in helping families from access outside resources. At Tier 3, students receive individualized sessions with our school counselors, and students are also provided targeted instruction, individualized incentive systems, and formalized behavior intervention plans.
And under teaching and learning, we use the USNS, which is the Universal Screener for Number Sense, as an early screener for our kindergarten. It helps us assess how our youngest learners are developing foundational number concepts, like counting, comparing numbers, subitizing, and number combinations. Last year, 71% of our kindergartners scored proficient. For this school year, our goal was 75% proficiency, and end of year data shows that we met 84.11%, showing that we did meet our targeted goal for the USNS for kindergarten. In grades 1 and 2, we used iReady, and this was the first year that we used the typical and stretch growth as our target, so we weren't too certain what to expect there, but in grades 1 and 2, we also used the USNS to dig a little bit deeper. Our goal for the school year was 65% of students in grades 1 and 2 reaching typical growth on iReady, which would be up from 59% last year. And 66% of our students did meet that goal this year. So we met our student learning goal for math. In addition to that 66%, 8% of students were 80 to 99% of their annual growth. So they were just right there, just didn't quite get over that hump. Another way of looking at iReady data is to look at overall movement and placement. This graph shows that at the beginning of the year, 14 of our students were on or above grade level, and by the end of the year, that number increased to 68%. That's a 54 percentage point increase in students who are now performing at or above grade level. Another thing that really stood out to me when I was looking at this is the reduction in students scoring below grade level. We reduced that from 16% at the beginning of the year down to 1% by the end of the school year, which tells me that our interventions are really doing their job, that we're moving these kids out of that grade level below. I won't spend too much time here, but this is a graph we've been showing you guys this year, which also shows that in grades 1 and 2, we are exceeding both state and national data as well as the national norms. And then our intervention efforts, like I mentioned, are really showing encouraging growth. We moved 9 second graders and 12 first graders out of intervention this year for showing significant progress in reaching proficiency on the USNS screener. In kindergarten, 1 out of 8 students receiving intervention reached proficiency, and we continue to work with the others to build foundational number sense skills. Looking ahead to next year, we're already planning our fall boost groups based on this data. We were able to identify 18 rising first grade students and 9 rising second grade students who will participate in a boost group immediately in the fall, so right when school starts, Rather than waiting until our first round of intervention data comes in to pick up the first group, we're going to pick up those 27 students right from the start of school to help give them a little bit of a boost. We're also shifting away from using iReady and shifting towards using the USNS at all grade levels, which will help us better identify students' strengths and needs at a much earlier level, and be more proactive in our interventions with those students.
Okay. Teaching and learning goal, as a reminder, we use DIBELS to monitor early literacy and development in grades K through 2 in place of iReady. We administer this 3 times a year with opportunities for progress monitoring in between assessments. DIBELS measures phonemic awareness, decoding, and fluency. Our goal this year is that 75% of students in grades K through 2 will score at or above grade level on the composite. Last year, 72% of students met the benchmark, but that was based on the predominant measure. We didn't have all the, we didn't administer all the subtests. So our goal was kind of a shot in the dark, but we are pleased with the amount of growth from fall to spring. In the fall, it was 56.8% of students were at core or above, and by the end of the year, it was 78.7%. So we exceeded our end of the year goal. One thing to point out is a shift from intensive to strategic through targeted intervention. We have moved 30 students out of our highest risk category. That's exciting. Another thing to note about using the composite score on the DIBELS for our goal is that the benchmark itself increases throughout the year. And the target rises from 330 at the beginning of the year to 389 at the mid-year to 441 by the end of the year. Slide 10. This is a little bit about our reading intervention. It continued to provide targeted reading intervention services throughout the school year using the data-driven model. Students were identified through the DIBELS universal screening and ongoing progress monitoring with interventions adjusted multiple times. In grades 1, we had 31 slots for our Amplify tutoring program. We serviced 32 students throughout the year, with 10 exiting in January and 10 new students entered in January. Grade 2 began with 36 students receiving intervention, with 12 students exiting over the course of the year and ending with 23 students requiring continued support. Kindergarten intervention started later in the year with 23 students receiving support, and by spring, after 4 students met that criteria to exit the intervention.
And our last goal under inclusive and supportive culture and climate is really focused on celebrating the diversity within our community and making sure all of our students and families feel a sense of belonging. We partnered really well with Chandria this year. We were really excited to have her come on board. She's truly been a consistent presence in our building, not only during the day, pulling small groups of students into lunch groups to help build relationships, but she's come to almost all of our evening events this year as well, which has been fantastic. One of our big goals was really to help improve the onboarding process for our METCO students. I think I explained last time, I might have bit off a little bit more than I can chew there, because I didn't realize that the METCO program and the deadlines are not just East Longmeadow specific, but they impact all of the schools within the METCO program. So shifting those timelines wasn't as easy as I'd hoped it would be. But due to Chandria's relationships that she built quickly within the METCO program, despite our being unable to move those deadlines a little bit earlier to get families in, we still got 3 out of the 4 students in for kindergarten screening in May, which is a big improvement. Previously, we weren't getting those names until like July and August. So they missed the kindergarten registration night, they missed kindergarten screening, but they were able to come to orientation. This year, we backed it up. We got 3 out of the 4 in, at least for kindergarten screening, and I'm hoping next year we might be able to get the names even sooner to get them here for registration night as well. We also had 2 assemblies this year focused on diversity and belonging. We told you about the other one last time, so this time we'll focus on the last one that we just had, where Chandria visited Meadowbrook and focused on the book All Are Welcome Here by Alexandra Penfold. And this is a children's book that celebrates diversity, inclusion, and community, but specifically within a school setting. Following that assembly, classes engaged in an activity focused on ways they can help their classmates feel welcomed and included at Meadowbrook, and you can see some of their work up there. They had really beautiful ideas. I was walking down the second grade hallway reading a lot of them, had a hard time picking which ones to take photos of. Students drew and colored a picture of themselves and then completed a short written response. And these were displayed throughout the hallways. So overall, while we didn't fully meet the goal because we didn't move those MetGo deadlines, I still think we strengthened partnerships and we continue to move that goal forward. That's all we have for you unless you have any questions.
Thanks for hearing all that data.
Thank you for having us.
Next up, we have Mountain View School with Mrs. Santinella.
Sorry, I'm trying to get there.
I brought paper copies, I followed directions. Follow along with my slides. It's not in front of us. Okay, so we'll start with supporting the whole child. Our first goal was to increase daily attendance and see a reduction in chronic absenteeism by making students feel valued, connected, and ready to learn. So next slide, sorry. Our average daily attendance rate, we wanted it to be 95% or higher, and we exceeded that with a rate of 96.3%. We wanted our chronic absenteeism percentage to be met or to exceed targets. Our 2025 accountability target showed our chronic absenteeism rate was 4.5. So I don't know what their target is for this year, but we ended the year at 3.7. So that was lower than last year. Our student reported percentages for belonging on our wellness and climate screenings, we wanted to be 90% or higher. And for 2 of the 3 questions that are specifically about belonging on our end of year survey, we exceeded that goal with 94% of students reporting they are happy and feel welcome at Mountain View. The Be Myself question went down from the beginning of the year. I'm not sure why. I don't think some of the kids maybe fully understand that question, especially at the 3rd grade level. But we were happy with the results. This year, we changed social emotional curriculums. We were using Second Step, both Mountain View and Maple Shade, and we switched to the Wayfinder curriculum this past year. It's definitely, I think, a little bit better than what we saw with Second Step in terms of student participation and understanding. I think Second Step felt a little young for grades 3, 4, and 5. So we continued the model that we were using with Second Step the year before, where our school adjustment counselor, Nick Hutchinson, taught the 3rd grade curriculum. I taught the 4th grade curriculum, and Norma Campbell, our school counselor, taught the 5th grade curriculum. And we plan on keeping that the same for next year. I actually enjoy being in the classroom again. It's been a long time, so it is fun to be with them for the curriculum. Norma and I, as you may or may not know, Mr. Hutchinson has decided to take a school psychologist job in Springfield, which is what he went to school for. So we're happy for him, but not happy for us. But we plan on doing the same model next year, but we're going to schedule some more professional development with Wayfinder for when the counselors come back at the end of August, because it was totally new to us. Last year, we kind of fumbled our way through. We did have some PD, but not enough. So we're going to do some more this year, but we are enjoying it more than, and the kids are enjoying it more than Second Step, so. Okay. Our next goal, teaching and learning. We wanted to see continued academic growth and increased achievement measured by the iReady reading and math assessments. So our goals were to have 70% of students reach typical growth in reading, 40% reaching stretch growth in reading, 65% of students reaching typical growth in math, and 35 reaching stretch growth in math. So on slide 5, I will start with the academic achievement. So on our first iReady reading administration this year, 38% of students were already at or above grade level. By mid-year, 47% of students were at or above grade level, and by the end of the year, 63% of students were currently at or above grade level. For math, on the next slide, same thing, this is our academic achievement, not growth yet. Our first iReady math administration this year, 34% of students were at or above grade level. By mid-year, 51% of students were at or above grade level, and at the end of the year, 69% of students were at or above grade level as measured by iReady. For growth, I put the charts that we've been using the last few years. As you can see on the graph on the left, in reading, all 3 grade levels are placed in the high performance, high growth quartile. Our goal was 70% of students reaching typical growth and 40% reaching stretch growth. We came close at 67 and 37. So just off by a few from our goal at the beginning of the year. On the graph on the right is math. So grades 3 and 4 are also in the high performance, high growth quartile, while grade 5 placed in the high performance, low growth quartile. Our goal was 65% of students reaching typical and 35% reaching stretch, and we were at 54% typical and 27% stretch. So this is the area that we need to continue to work on next year. Part of this reason could have been that we do not have a math interventionist anymore. Our students that were currently in grade 5 this past year, in grade 4, a significant amount of them received math intervention when they were in grades 3 and 4. And since we didn't have that position this year, we weren't able to offer any intervention in math. So that could be a reason. Another area that they also did a lot of math enrichment was in the GT enrichment program. So we lost that, which we didn't lose for reading, because we have a reading, which I'll get to on the next slide, but we have reading intervention and a reading tutor, but we don't have any support for math. So that could be the reason. I'm not saying it is for sure, but that was a big difference from years past.
In both of them, the 5th grade, it looks like they're lower in reading and math. Do you think there's a reason for that, or?
Well, the 5th grade is still, up there in the high performance, high growth, at least in reading.
Right.
And that, I think, we've become more comfortable with the reading curriculum.
Okay.
And we have the extra supports. I think Foundations has made a huge difference. The teachers love it in 3rd grade. I mean, it's not reached all the way up yet, but it's
Next year, we'll be in 4th and 5th.
next year. Next year, 4th and 5th are also going to be having Foundations.
So what is the curriculum in 5th right now?
5th grade was strictly wit and wisdom.
Okay.
Yeah, so next year they will have Foundations in 4th and 5th. In the 5th grade, it'll focus more on vocabulary and grammar, which is something the teachers are very excited about, because that's not something they've been necessarily specifically teaching. So they're very excited about that. In math, like I said, I can't explain the biggest change was the loss of intervention. So that's the only reason I can really come up with right now.
I just didn't know if there was something going on with the 5th grade in general, but.
Well, the end of the year, I can tell you the burnout is real from testing. The 5th grade in particular has to do ELA, math and science, MCAS, and then about a week later, we're launching them into iReady. So it could be part of the reason too, On the next slide, we have the reading intervention and tutoring data. So we started the year with 22 students receiving reading intervention. 4 students ended up being released from reading intervention this year, and 12 of the remaining students made 1 to 2 years of growth on iReady. For reading tutoring, which is more one-to-one and direct instruction from a tutor to students who are typically on IEPs and are performing significantly below grade level. We had 7 students receiving tutoring, and all of them made anywhere between 1 and 3 years of growth with the tutor. Next slide is this graph that kind of gives me agita. It's a little hard to read, but I'm happy to say that if you compare Mountain View, which on the graph is labeled as district, because they had to separate out Mountain View and Maple Shade, that refers to Mountain View. Grades 3, 4, and 5 all surpassed the state and national norms in reading at or above grade level, and had significantly lower percentages in the 1 to 3 grade levels below. So I was very happy with those results. And on the next slide is the math, same graph. Again, 3, 4, and 5 students all surpassed the state and national norms, performing at or above grade level, and had significantly lower percentages than the state and the nation in performance below grade level. So that was good news. Yes, 3rd grade was amazing. They always are. Okay, on to our last goal, which is inclusive and supportive culture and climate. Our goal was to see students, staff, and families feeling an increased sense of community and belonging. So the first 4 questions that are shown here were on the family survey, the student survey, and the staff survey. So we want 95% of students, families, and staff feeling happy at Mountain View, safe at Mountain View, respected and treated fairly, and that we have high expectations for learning. The last bullet is only asked of students and parents, and we want 95% of students to report that they have at least one trusted adult at Mountain View. So the data is on the next slide. And other than having an adult I can talk to and enforcing rules against hurting others, which we feel falls under the respect category, those were the only 2 areas that we fell below the 95%, but they were still high. The 2 questions at the bottom, the rating scale changes for those questions. It's always, sometimes, or never, which always and never are a little severe, I think. So I combined the always and sometimes into the percentages that I gave you here. They were both high, but it seemed a little bit better to put them together rather than spread them all out, because I think always is a little, I don't know that anyone always feels respected by their classmates or so. And then the last slide, second to last, shows the parent and staff results. So we didn't reach 95% in all of these categories, but we were very close. I did only have about 85 parents respond to the survey out of around 280 kids. So I wished I had more, but I did send out reminders. And
How many parents?
I had about 85 respond.
At 200.
I'm estimating between 270 and 280. So the staff responses were high, and the kids, we forced them to do it, so we had everybody. But I still feel happy about the results, because we're all, they're all above 90. So then the final slide has a list of all the events we had this year to build a sense of community and belonging, and the ones in red are the ones I've added since the last presentation. So I would say the highlights for the students, staff, and families this spring were the talent show, which was very well attended, field day, the family picnic, which was a new addition this year. It was free for families. We had food trucks, we had a DJ with a photo booth. We had some booths set up by the library to advertise the summer reading program. And from the group called Wait Till 8th, I think that's the name of the group, about the cell phone usage. And it was very well attended and everyone seemed, oh, we had face painting too. Face painting and a balloon sculpture guy. I don't know. He was doing really great work, but so that was great. We'll continue that. And then the spring concert, which we hold outside, Tanglewood style, we call it. So we can have as many people come as we want, and everyone just sits outside in the back playground, and it was great. For the students, the fifth graders ended up going to Shaker Bowl for their end of year trip because we couldn't go to Sunny's Place due to the nurse situation, but they did have a great time. It was shut down for just them. So the whole fifth grade was there with their teachers, and they had a great time. And the Penny Wars, which I don't know if you heard about the Penny Wars, but it's a contest we started 1 or 2 years ago. I don't fully understand it all myself, but basically the kids bring in change and fill jugs by grade level. Pennies are good, silver is bad, dollar bills are good. So when they come in, they try to figure out which grade level they can sabotage by putting in silver to counteract the pennies and the dollar bills. It went on for a week. It's insane in the office in the morning when they're all coming in with their money. But the PTO upped the prize this year. In the past, it's been an ice cream. This year, they had a pizza party and they got a squishy. Squishies are a big deal. So we had a lot of participation, and I think they raised almost $3,400 in a week just from that.
And everyone in the class gets the pizza party?
The whole third grade got the pizza party and
And
a
a
squishy. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they said we've raised, that this is probably, I don't know for sure, but I think it's our biggest fundraiser. So they felt cheap just giving them an Italian ice the last 2 years, so they upped it to a pizza party and squishies. And they were good, the good squishies. They ordered good squishies. There's a difference.
Nice.
So they got the kind that I guess people line up for at that shop in town. At 5 in the morning or something, so.
Been there.
You were in line?
For squishies?
Kidding. Clearly. Kidding.
Like, you don't even have lip.
I know.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Explain.
thank you.
Thank you.
Connor put this together too.
He did, yeah. So we'll do our best to, excuse me, to present this, although obviously a better job than Ms. Brown and I can do, but we'll
Sure you guys will
present to
get
the
us.
best of our ability. So obviously, very similar to the other two schools, they have supporting the whole child goal centered on attendance rates and absenteeism, chronic absenteeism, as well as how students are reporting the climate surveys. At the time of these slides, towards the end of the school year, Maple Shade's attendance rate was at daily attendance rate was at 95.6%. And that is about the same where they were last year at this time. So they're holding above that 95% right in the center there. Moving to teaching and learning, similar to what you've heard with the other two schools, we had increased based on the results last year, where we wanted our students hitting typical growth and the percentage of students hitting stretch growth in iReady reading and iReady math. So it's 70% and 40% in reading and 65% and 35% in math. Brown's going to
And
walk us through.
they got close, so they got this is reading, 69% of the kids met their typical growth, so 1% away from the 70, and 34% reached stretch growth, which was 1% away from that 35. That's the aggregate of third, fourth, and fifth. Third grade, though, exceeded their typical growth. They got 72% of their kids reached their typical growth, and 44% reached their stretch growth goal. I don't know what total special education means. It's not done.
That one, unfortunately, we didn't notes on.
We didn't want to change anything. And then this is the national norms. Gordon, did you want to talk about those?
Sure. So similarly to what Mrs. Santinello is presenting, the third grade seems to be the grade that really is sort of pushing the aggregate in both schools. So you see some really good numbers in the green there for the third grade. When you look at district, again, in this case, this chart is specific to Maple Shade, as it was in Mrs. Santinello's chart specific to Mountain View. You see.
Just a lot of arms to get them to give me a Shade and a Mountain View. So anyway, the fact that it says district, I'm going to ignore.
Correct. So Ms. Brown reaches out to our contacts at iReady, and we get these charts. We try to get them well ahead of time, but it usually takes a couple of weeks for them to put these together for us. But it gives you a look at how third, fourth, and fifth are doing against Massachusetts schools that use iReady and schools across the nation that are using iReady. And you can see that we're outscoring both Massachusetts schools and schools across the nation in the green and in the yellow, and we're seeing lower percentages in the red. To math and achievement, again, this is the aggregate.
So the aggregate is 64%. I believe it was 65% that we were hoping for, and 35%. And so again, 1 percentage point below. But again, the fifth grade in this case for math exceeded their typical growth goal. 80% of the kids met their typical growth, and 49% met their stretch growth goal. And 92%, I think he means fifth grade, met their objective goal. And again, we won't be using SD Math next year, but something to celebrate. And again, the national norms.
And so taking a look at math across the board, third, fourth, and fifth, you can see, again, that we're seeing more green at each grade level when you compare to Massachusetts schools using iReady and schools nationally who are using iReady. And we're seeing fewer percentage, a little bit on the fifth grade there, where we're seeing a little bit more in the red than we've seen in previous years at the end of the.
Wait, are you looking at math or reading?
I'm looking at math.
Fifth grade has more red?
7%.
Okay.
That's all I was saying in terms of
Okay.
comparatively to grade level.
Okay.
Usually at the end of the year, we see a lower.
I see what you mean. I thought you were comparing. I apologize.
No worries.
Right. Inclusive and supportive culture and climate.
Okay, and so again, looking to celebrate the diversity within the school and make sure that we are creating a culture and a climate in all of our schools where students feel like they belong and can be themselves. And so the end of the year survey data for Maple Shade, one of the biggest questions you see across all 5 schools that we ask consistently, and I've done so for years, is that having that one adult to whom they can go to talk and problem solve. And the end of the year, Maple Shade responses were 90.5%. And then something that Maple Shade has been asking for the last few years is in terms of continuing to try when things get challenging in the classroom. And so when I feel like my schoolwork is hard, I keep trying. They got 93.5% of their students responding favorably. And then feeling safe at school, I would love to see that one in the 90s, but 86.4% responded that they feel safe. We do see somewhat of a downward trend around questions around bullying from, say, bullying and teasing and so forth when you start the school year everybody's feeling really upbeat about it in terms of our student body. And then as things happen, you'll notice at the mid-cycle and then at the end, unfortunately, things do tend to fall a little bit in the percentages. Questions? Maple Shade's data or really any of the schools?
I don't think so.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Share. You don't need to see my desktop.
Thank you all.
Thanks for coming.
Hi.
Have a great summer. I know, thank you too. All right, superintendent summative evaluation.
Okay, so this year, generally, we've held this over to the fall when we get the accountability data. Unfortunately, this year, I will not be with you in the fall, so we do have to finalize my summative so that we can report it to DESE with the summer reporting. Hopefully, you've had a chance to look it over and then see in the shared file the different evidence pieces that I put together, and happy to answer questions or explain anything further if people have any thoughts or questions regarding anything that was presented.
Anyone? Greg?
Greg, I'm gonna let you close this one out.
Yeah, good job, Gordon. No, I mean, I not to make light of it, Gordon, certainly over the last year and the last 16 years, the amount that you've contributed to the district is unmeasurable, and this is just a snapshot of things that you've accomplished. And so, yeah, I would move to approve the superintendent's summative evaluation as presented.
Motion made by Greg,
Second.
seconded by William. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any nays? Passes 4-0.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's very much a team effort.
Okay. This is good on.
It did. So the Open Space and Recreation Plan Review Committee is happening. It's, so you had asked last time to see if they were centering on a time in the afternoon as to when they were going to meet. They do feel that 3 o'clock timeframe will be probably when they'll be meeting. I did ask the representative from Pioneer Valley Planning Commission, who will be advising on this for the town, if the superintendent, the incoming superintendent, Ms. Menard, is able to get there at 3, if a school committee representative could come in maybe at a little bit later during that meeting, and she felt that would probably be fine. I think that as long as you have the superintendent there, keeping abreast of what they're talking about and what any assignments may be, because in between meetings, they do give assignments in terms of, hey, can you do some more research on this? Can you take a look at this, so that they can bring it back to the whole group. So I think that would be fine. The town also will be looking for a new director of planning, because our current director has taken a new position, and I believe will be leaving us either as of June 30th or shortly thereafter. So you'll have new director of planning on that group and new superintendent and a new appointee from the school committee. So it'll be, first meeting will be a time to get to know everybody.
And how long are these meetings for? Do you
Generally an
know?
hour. Generally an
They're
hour.
generally an hour, and how many meetings are there usually?
They're,
Go a couple months,
yeah, it's like once a month for about an hour, and
probably 5 or 6 meetings.
5 or 6.
And what are they talking about in these meetings?
Recreation planning for the town, the use of fields or creation of new fields, use of a space that we already own.
How we use the Brown Farm property.
Yep.
What do we do?
Preservation funds, yeah.
All right.
Sounds like a chair thing.
You just started.
Yeah. I'll be out of a job by then.
All right, I'll do it.
Oh, you want to do it? I don't, but I will. Do it. Yeah, I
If you
can,
guys don't want to do it, I'll do it.
no, I can do this.
Okay.
I'm not trying to throw you under the bus, but I did hear through Chandra, you might be interested in the Equity and Diversity Committee,
Yes.
and so that could take that off your plate,
I can, no,
or unless you want to do both.
I can do this one.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Just-
Yes.
And then that's a good point, though, you're going to have a reorganization meeting on July 1st anyway, so you can balance out the subcommittees and assignments if you need to.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, we have to make a motion for Amy to,
Move to appoint Amy as the representative to the Recreation Evaluation Committee.
Second.
motion made by Greg, seconded by William. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any nays? Carries 4-0.
Okay?
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
I'd like to make, someone needs to make a motion to adjourn.
I just did. Oh, I'm sorry.
William,
Second.
motion, seconded by Greg. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Carries 4-0.
All right.
That's
Look at
it.
that.
That's our meeting.
Yeah.
Right.
In an hour.